Hang tight, hang tight. We're gonna see a brighter day. Hang tight, hang tight. The sun will shine our way. They're feeling the heat. Patriots won't retreat in the face of the fight. Military shining light. Help is on the way. Hang tight, hang tight. We're gonna see a brighter day. Hang tight. The sun will shine our way.
You are listening to the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network. You are listening to the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network. We would like to invite you to become a DC Guardian. A Guardian is someone who supports us with a gift of $10 a month. And you will also receive a beautiful DC decal so you can post your support. And also you will get email updates for Guardians only. Plus special discounts on products and functions and conferences to come. Please click on the donate button on our eiobn.com website to support. Once again, on behalf of the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network, thank you. You are listening to your source for trusted intel and news. You're listening to Live with DC.
Hey there, it's your favorite president. You need to be listening to my friend DC. He's a trusted source and won't lead you astray.
Thank you for listening to You Post DC, your trusted source for intel and news.
Let's get ready to rumble.
All right, guys. Hope everybody can hear me in here. And we're in a remote location today, which is great. Sort of. I guess if you want to call it sort of, but hopefully you all can hear me. Hopefully we can do our broadcast today from here. And let me jump in here to our chat. And let's see here. We are running as quick as possible today because we have a lot going on with what I'm doing. So anyway, let's go up here to the chat here. Hello, everyone from Amy in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Hey, from North Louisiana. Hello, DC from Willow Spring, North Carolina. Let's see here. My chat keeps just bouncing around. Sorry, guys. It's going to be a rough day for me here. Willow Spring, North Carolina. Patriots, good to see you all. Amite, Louisiana. Hope you're enjoying Baton Rouge. Yeah, not too bad. Let's see here. Although the internet here is kind of way different. It's sketchy. Maybe it's just where I'm at, but Nashville, Tennessee in the house, Stanford, Connecticut in the house, Western Arizona in the house, North Canton, Ohio in the house, Charles City, Virginia. Hello, West Tennessee, Brooklyn, Texas in the house. First, Marcus off all the pages. Chesapeake, Virginia in the house. Let's go back here, pull this up. From Washington, from Tennessee again there, South Carolina, Ozark, Alabama. Hello, pages from Ohio, Kansas in the house, EC and RC in the house from North Carolina. Good to see you guys. Wilsonville, Oregon. I'm trying to get everybody in here, but the chat's moving so quickly. Cordova, Tennessee in the house. Texas says hello. ADC from Kentucky. Good morning from Victoria, Canada. Hello there. Good morning. Let's see here. Do I think Obama involved in Diddy? Most definitely. Las Vegas in here. Good deal. Waco, Texas. Minnesota in the house. Hello from Ohio. New Enterprise, Pennsylvania. Gonzales, Louisiana, not far from Baton Rouge. You're right. Not too far there. Just a rock throw away there. Love your shows. Found you through Brad from Swainsboro, Georgia. Good deal. Kansas in the house. Holland, Michigan in the house. From McAllen, Texas in the house. Hutchinson, Kansas in the house. Noblesville, Indiana. Texas in the house. Southern California in the house. So if I can pull this back up here. Let's see. Sorry, guys. It's moving so quick. Rock, Vegas, Tennessee. Dalton, Georgia in the house. Yukon, Oklahoma in the house. Livingston, Louisiana here. Awesome, Tracy. Not too far from you. Hello, glad you're here today. Childersburg, Alabama. Childersburg, Alabama. Thumbs up. Yep. Blessings from West Virginia. Meansville, Georgia in the house. Hello from North Florida. Sorry, it's jumping in here. Phil from Cartersville here. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Denham Springs in here. Saints girl. Okay, good deal. Let's see here. Madison, Alabama. Hello, DC from Tennessee. Zeeland, Michigan here. Another Tennessee volunteer in the house. Driving through Missouri in the house. Okay. Wallace, North Carolina here. Patriot. Good deal. Magnolia, Texas. Idaho in the house. And I know I have missed a lot because this chat is like, it went from 0 to 495 like real quick. So I'm missing some people here. Northwest Ohio, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Beaverton, Oregon, Smyrna, Tennessee, Tupelo, Mississippi in the house. Or Ohio back in the house. Another Ohio. Love seeing my Alabama neighbors in here. Awesome. Go Blue, Michigan, right? Hey from Long Island. Royalton, Minnesota says hey. Cameron, Kentucky in the house. Kansas in the house. Holland, Michigan. Another North Carolina. Missouri in the house. Another Tennessee. Texas here. Once again, guys, I'm sorry. If I missed you because it's this chat's moving so quickly, I can't hardly grab it. And I'm not actually sitting in the studio. I'm actually out on the road, as we discussed last week. And so I don't have everything here, but I am running everything the best we can. So we got Gastonia here, West Tennessee in the house, ADC, Northwest here. Okay, Sables, okay. Please stop. This is so boring. Okay, well, good. Then get the hell off here. Pick me. Let's go. All right, Magnolia. Enforcer, you can take care of that for me. Let's see here. Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. All right, Monroeville, Ohio. Live from Live Oak, Florida. DC with the Federal Reserve go down and the market collapse. Resist disinformation. There's something we should do. I don't think anybody has a clear plan on that, but I always say have stuff in stock just for a couple of days, and then also invest in some silver and gold. We'll talk about that at a different time there. But Roanoke Rapids in the house, Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Hello. They're gone. Thank you so much, Enforcer. And that's why he's in there, to enforce it. Jackson, Tennessee in the house. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So a lot to talk about, a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on in our country. It's just crazy. I have been, like I said, on the road doing my thing. And what was it? Yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday. Yesterday, I was actually in, like y'all know, I've been on the road. I ended up in Louisiana. Yesterday, I ended up in at a little Mexican place in Denham Springs, Louisiana. And that's probably the best Mexican place I've had ever. Not that y'all really care, but hey, it is what it is. So, yeah, we got so much in the news. You've got, of course, the Diddy story is not going to go away anytime soon. Just not going to happen. So many things are going on here. And I said last week, what are we being distracted from? What are we being distracted from? And I'm going to read you a little bit what's coming out now should have came out years ago with the Diddy and all these other stars that are just, they're starting to sing like canaries. Before everyone gets wound up on the Diddy thing, Now I'm going to jump into this wholeheartedly, okay? Because you all don't like me to, some of you don't hem haul around, just get to it. I will. So let's just jump right in here to Diddy, since we're on that. You have more people coming out, more people starting to tell stories, which is great because they've needed to tell stories. And then there's several people that are dead that can no longer tell stories, but tried to tell the story about Diddy and this whole enterprise of crime, sex trafficking, drugs, all kinds of things. And we've got, man, I have been inundated. Now, let me just say this, top off the show with this. Anybody will Diddy implicate Kamala? Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with the picture. I'm at a remote location, so you're going to be looking at a figure. You're not going to be looking at the studio. I believe 100% anyone can repent. Okay, anyone can, go back to God or whatever you want to call it. Russell Brand is one of these guys that I believe he's on the right track, but I don't know for a fact, and and I'm not his judge. So, and I did that to clarify this, is that way I don't get emails of people saying, "Now listen, you're not preaching about grace and mercy." Well, first of all, I'm not in here to preach, but second, anyone can come back to God. Okay, that's up to them. But if they've done things in society that have been heinous, and they get caught with it or caught for it, they have to answer for that. And repentance is something with God, okay, that he forgives you your sins and then you move on and blah, 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 blah. Y'all know. The legal system is not that way. So therefore, I want to clarify that. Anybody can find God if they want to, right? I'm doing that because that way it keeps down any kind of emails of people saying I'm not being merciful and I'm not showing God's grace and all this good stuff. So with Diddy, that whole thing. A couple things I've been going through and looking, and some of you are really conspiracy theorists, if you want to call it that. And some of you are just like, I just don't believe anything like that. And that's fine. But I'm going to tell you right now, the man that they have behind bars right now, I do not believe that is actually the original, what we would call Diddy. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to give you, just hang tight before everybody starts judging me. Because the pictures that they show of him, and it kind of caught me odd when I look at it, right? We always talk about pay attention to the detail, pay attention to the detail. The picture of Diddy 6 months ago to the picture of Diddy this last week, side by side, are way different. The hairline don't even match up. The forehead, the one that's shown in the mugshot, the forehead, where his eyes are, that the arch in that don't match up. The nose don't match up. His nose is more squashed than this. His mouth is more, elongated. His jaw is too. And the other thing is this: there are no moles on his face. Diddy has a mole under each eye. Okay? He has his under each eye. And also, the frown in his head is not the same. Now, yep, people can gain weight. People can lose weight. They change things. Not that quickly. His mouth in his original picture is completely different. It has more of a, I don't know. It's just different. I'm finding out on this, what's going on. I will tell you that. And I know a lot of you are going to run with it. Oh, conspiracy. Yep, I see it. Yep, conspiracy. There's here. That's me. Awesome. Let's see, I saw those photos. I can't be him. Right, exactly. Let me just throw you out a small conspiracy of a what if conspiracy. What if Diddy was outed by Epstein, and plus also these, because it ain't just one person. Here's the thing: you don't just one person just don't go file charges on someone and then the law come in and then have a great big huge gigantic bust the way they did and all these people going down. It's more than, there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. Conspiracy. What if Diddy is ratting these people? Now, I'm not saying he's good, because he's not. I think he's a piece of trash. But what if he is on the other side, kind of giving information to, one, try to save his butt, but two, out these people? There's your conspiracy to think about, because the pictures do not line up. They just don't line up. The moles on the face don't line up. The forehead, the mouth, none of that stuff. And there's no way stress is going to cause you from an arrest to lose your moles on your face and to change your hairline and all this stuff. It just don't happen. It just don't happen. Now, if some of you talking in the chat, I'll try to respond, but I've got two different iPads on two different sides I'm looking at here. So I don't know. I don't know. It just really kind of bothered me a little bit that I saw that. And I was like, wait a minute, that don't even match up. Why are they even posting that when, I mean, the normal person should be able to look at that and go, they don't even look like him. But his list keeps growing and growing. Leonardo DiCaprio is coming out now. He's been to the several parties. Russell Brand, which I know Russell Brand is kind of taking a turn and trying to change his life around and be, he's doing the Christian thing now, reading in his Bible, doing his stuff. But maybe, what if, here's a conspiracy, what if Russell Brand is doing it because he knew what was coming down the pike? Well, let me pull I can't pull the race card, so let me pull the religious card. Who knows? It's all things to see. One of the videos that I saw this past weekend that a friend of mine had sent me, was actually two different parties of the freak off parties. And Hillary Clinton was there. Now, let me stop here. Those guys would have to be drugged up to even want to bang her. She's nasty. She is gross. And maybe it wasn't there because we already know about Pizzagate. We know about Frazzle Drip. And for those that say it don't exist, you got your head up your butt. That stuff exists. And sort of like people saying, well, sex trafficking doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Oh, it exists. It exists like crazy. But you have Harvey Weinstein that was blackmailing the movie industry, right? Remember that? Oprah's friend, Oprah's buddy. Isn't it funny how Oprah Winfrey is always involved in this? Always, it's like, it's weird. Who gets a new car? And she goes to these parties, goes, who gets a new kid? I mean, seriously. And speaking of Oprah, I don't know if you all know or not, but Oprah got on her plane and she left the country. She's not even around here. But she's been tracked. I'm going to tell you that. She's been tracked. Harvey Weinstein was the blackmailing. His deal was blackmailing the movie industry and blackmailing people in that. And some of these females that came out, even the movie industry blackmailed those people. Isn't it crazy how people will come out and say, hey, I've been abused with this person, and then society continues the abuse by blackmailing them or blackballing them from anything? Isn't that really strange? It's a twisted world we live in. And then you got Jeffrey Epstein, okay? Isn't it? What drives me nuts is these last names. Weinstein, Epstein. It's like, come on. He was blackmailing the government sector because Epstein had Obama. He had, same thing, movie stars too, political leaders. And everybody knows what happened at Epstein Island. And I want to know why the secrecy in these lists. There's only one reason why people in the government will not release these lists of people that were on Epstein and people, Epstein Island, people, Weinstein. I'll tell you why. Because it's people that are in charge that are probably on those lists. There used to be a movie. There's a movie that I do like, but it came out years ago, but it's called The Untouchables. And Kevin Costner's in it. And one of the things is they're trying to get Al Capone. They can't get him. Can't get him. And then he goes to talk to the judge in his chambers, and then the judge comes out and says, we're getting bringing the jury from next door. Well, everybody goes crazy. And the attorney says, what did you tell him? He says, I gave him a list of all the jurors that was on the jury. And he still said he wouldn't change it. He goes, but what else did you say? He goes, I lied to him and told him that his name was on that list. There's a reason why these lists are not being released right now. And that's because people are on these people that are on these lists are high up. But you have Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and now you got P. Diddy that was blackmailing the music industry, blackmailing them because he can get them with, everybody says, oh, it's rock and roll. What is it? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man. What a lie. It's no longer Woodstock. It's Pedophileville. And you have him blackmailing people in there. Not only him. If you think that he was the head, he's not the head. I've seen stuff over the weekend that will, oh my God, it'll blow you away. But he's not the head. He's not the kingpin of this. Jay-Z was bigger in this ring than P. Diddy. And above Jay-Z is Clive Davis. Clive Davis. Oh yeah, he's the one that a lot of people and a lot of bands have either failed or they've been mysteriously drowned, suicided, or killed in a plane crash or killed in a car flip over, all these things. But as I played last week, Clive Davis gets out of his car and they're like, hey, what about P. Diddy? Who? Oh, who's he talking about? Who's he talking? Like he has dementia. I say that you take these 750 some dildos that they found at Diddy's place and shove them up Epstein's butt. Not Epstein, shoot. Clive Davis. Shove them up his butt. Hey, get P. Diddy too. Shove one up his butt. Shove about 4 or 5 at the same time. All these people that have abused kids, they need to be, what needs to be done to them, what they've done to others. Eye for an eye. And go back to that time. Except don't give them the courtesy of KY. Stick a broomstick right up in there and break it off. Someone asked about sports. So one would think, who is blackmailing the sports industry now? Because you understand, every industry has been blackmailed. There's been no purity in anything for years and years and years. I would say Jerry Jones. That's who I would say. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I would say Jerry Jones. And some will be like, oh, you're crazy. You just can't say that stuff. Well, I just did. I just did. And for those of you that, say, well, Epstein, he suicided himself. He did not suicide himself. And this is just a big day for you, right? This is a lot for y'all to talk about the rest of the week. From day one, I have said Epstein did not suicide himself. That's what we've been told, the narrative, as always. Okay? Because let's go back. Every industry has a handler. And when I say a handler, controls it. Yeah. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, P. Diddy, I believe Jerry Jones. But we have the news, the narratives from the news. Somebody controls that. And that's about to come out too. But Megyn Kelly verified this, even what I even said and thought and have just seen myself. She says that the world may soon hear from Jeffrey Epstein directly. She says, we're not done with Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you that for a fact. And I can't tell you how I know, but I can tell you for a fact, we're going to hear a lot more from Jeffrey Epstein in the coming year. And at this point, you're probably going to hear from him directly. And then she goes on to say, that I can't say no more. I believe you're going to have Epstein come forward. I believe you're going to have P. Diddy come forward. Not because they're trying to save their butt, because they have no choice. Because they love their lives so much that they're not about to just they're not about to go down with everybody's dirt on their back and in their mind and in their heart, and then take a penalty of supposedly suicide or life in prison or whatever it may be. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. You're going to see them come out. I told you about Oprah. One of the things that's it's blowing me away of all the different people. Of course, we know the Kardashians are just goofy and dirty and all that stuff. But even when this happened with P. Diddy, it was Kris Jenner that took off and went into hiding when they first raided his house because of why? Why? Because she's in on it too. She's a handler too. She's a part of this stuff. And you're starting to see trickles of it coming down. You're starting to see trickles of it come down. And, you know, one of the things that I saw, and you can Google this for yourself. Of course, as of today, there's a couple of them that's trying to debunk this, but it's very true. But if you go to, if you just type into your web browser, the Adrenochrome Witch by Diddy, there's a little book that he wrote on the adrenochrome and how it has been used. And it has his picture and all that on there. And like I said, there's a couple of them trying to debunk it now, but it's and it's funny because when the truth comes out, they're going to try to debunk the whole thing, everything, every single thing. With Diddy's arrest, it comes back to this. A Q drop. The first indictment, when it's unsealed, will trigger the mass population awakening. It will verify, the first arrest will verify action and confirm future direction. Okay. What if this first indictment, once it's unsealed, everything's unsealed, like everything comes out, like everybody that's names have been on there, everybody's names that's messed with kids, all this stuff. What if this is it? Because here's the thing, everybody kept saying, well, it's going to be Trump getting arrested. No, not at all. Because even if he was arrested, there would be nothing in there that would make the mass population come to an awakening. You hear what I'm saying? You have to understand, a lot of people will listen and go, oh no, that's about Trump. And what's going to happen if he gets arrested or something happens and all hell's going to break loose. And it probably would, but you're missing the point. The point is in the Q job was the fact that it will, the unsealing, you hear me? The unsealing of all these documents, which means all your preachers are going down, all these politicians that will go down. And the ones that have, here's the thing, there's a narrative that will be played out because why? We don't control media. And the narrative of this is if Hillary's gone, if Joe Blow's gone, say Joe Blow was the congressman or whatever of whoever state, and he's gone. He's been Gitmoed. We are not even to the place to where that could even be brought out, because we still have so many people that do not believe. And for the religious people, let me throw this out there to you. My people perish because what? The lack of knowledge. Jenny, they extracted everything to preserve. Absolutely. Most definitely. Most definitely. So the drop, it says the first indictment will trigger mass population awakening when it's unsealed. What that's going to happen is when all this is unsealed with Diddy. Now, bits and pieces have been filtered out, but it's not all. It's going to make you question your faith. Oh, no, not me. I'm grounded and rooted in Christ. Well, bless God, good for you. But when you start realizing who and what has been going on, it's going to shake you a little bit, or you're just not human. I'm not saying it's going to make you just hate God, because it's not going to do that. Unless you're one of those people who just plays the blame game on everybody. And it goes on to say that they will, the verification of this is going to be, is the first arrest, which was Diddy. You hear me? I'm reading you the Q drop, and I'm telling you, this is what it is. It's no longer conspiracy. But when the first indictment, when it is unsealed, then everyone's going to have no choice. Go back and remember what I said a couple months ago. Something will break, and the news will have no choice but to expose the truth. They'll have no choice. This is it. This is it. This ain't, it's fixing to come around in 6 months. We got to wait. No, this is it, guys. We're here. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the Q party, because it's happening now. And for those that don't want to believe, that's fine. Don't let them believe. But for you that do believe, the first arrest of this, it says, will verify action and confirm future direction. So that means this: by seeing Diddy arrested and all this go down, this is just a verification. This is what a Q drop was. Verification to you, the listener right now, you that's at work or home or wherever, you to know, guess what? Hey, guess what? Even though people don't believe me, something's going down. Well, how are you so sure? I'm reading now how the Q drop come down. You understand? This indictment will do more than just cause a mass population awakening. I believe a lot of these people are going to turn themselves in. And I'm going to tell you why. Because even Q said this: they will not be able to walk down the streets for what they've done. This includes politicians, pastors, movies, everybody's been involved in this. And let me give you another one here. Everybody remember back in the 80s and 90s and maybe early 2000s, you get your milk carton and have kids on the back of it. Little Bobby, little Janice, they're gone. They've been kidnapped, blah, 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 blah. They were this year's old. And it was amazing because all the kids were always about the same age. And then you have Hollywood come out years later. Everything is done in plain sight, right? We talk about this. Plain sight. So they come out with a TV commercial, says, "Got milk?" Y'all remember that? Got milk? You got milk? And they come out with their milk mustache. Think about this. Mocking and doing this in plain sight. Oh, DC, you're grasping at straws. No, not really. I'm telling you the absolute truth, you nincompoop. It is what it is. Do you realize we have been getting played for years by Hollywood, by just, I can't wait for the news media to be exposed. When I'm saying exposed, I'm not talking about just, oh, well, we caught them lying on this. No, I'm talking about their executives, all the people that's done stuff over the years that they're caught. And if you don't think that there's not a handler that's been keeping names, keeping a list, keeping videos, keeping this stuff, you're crazy. Because they have. They have. And in one night, you've got Pink and you got Usher, and they wiped their Twitter or X accounts. Gone. 1/3. You got Chrissy Teigen. How about that one? Chrissy Teigen, John Legend. Chrissy Teigen completely deleted her account. And it goes on and on and on of how they're doing this. Okay. So you as a listener has to listen and go, hey, I have to see how I'm going. I need to really think this through, because this is no longer conspiracy now. Whether you like it or not, whether your family believes you or not, the truth is coming out. And when the truth comes out, you're going to be at a Christmas dinner going, I told you so. But I'm telling you, prepare yourselves for shock. Some of the stuff I've seen this past weekend, it's crazy. But I'm telling you, prepare for shock. You need to prepare yourself for your favorite actor. Oh gosh, I just love this person. I love their acting skills. Love this. Your political people. Oh, I just love this congressman's come to our church several times, and he's been baptized in our church, and our pastors prayed him through the Holy Ghost. And these are great people, man of God. Musicians. Oh, they're great musicians. They're great. You know, it's bugged me this. Since we're on this, it's bugged me for years. You've had church that's had a double standard. A young girl gets pregnant. We're going to come alongside of her and help her. We're going to come on side of her and help her. That's what we're going to do. But for her to ever do anything in this church, she's got to sit down for the next 2 years, because what she did is just, no one can look at her as a role model. So they set her up for fail. But yet, meanwhile, they got a faggot standing up in the choir loft, leading the choir. Oh, but we're open to all. We're open to all, DC. They're going down. Athletes, clergy, royalty, big time going down. They're all part of this enormous elite pedophile ring. And this is where I draw the line in the sand. It's this. If any of my friends would sympathize with that and try to throw the religious card out there, I understand there's grace and mercy, but it ain't for you or me to give it. They better get it from God, because what they've done to our children in society is pretty much unforgivable. And yes, we have to pray that we can get over that. We do. Oh, you can't go to heaven, DC, with that kind of a feeling. Huh? What if I repent? Do I have to come publicly and repent to everyone? No. I'm from old school. These guys need a good ring in the neck. Is what they need. That's what they need. Somebody to wrap their arms around them real good and just, they make me sick. Meanwhile, everybody's thinking Diddy is the ringleader, and he's not. He's just not. He's just a pawn in this scheme. And I can tell you this: Whitney Houston would still be alive. Whitney Houston would still be alive if she would have just went with the motions with Clive Davis. Joan Rivers would still be alive if she would have just kept her mouth shut about Michael Obama. The list goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on. what we have seen has been elites that have become so powerful that they can murder people, rape children, do whatever the hell they want to do, and get by with it. And the way they get by with it is because they've blackmailed everybody. I'm not going to play it today. I may play it later on in the week. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to do a night show this week because my schedule's all crazy. We'll try to do a night show where I can play some more stuff to where people's not at work having to listen to some of the stuff I'm going to play because it's pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. And it's crazy, the stuff that these people go through just to get a record deal. And it's more than, oh, well, they go in and have a black hood on, they got a ritual. It depends on who they're with. But a lot of these people, even radio hosts have had to do things. It makes me sick. That's why I love what we're doing here. We're building a family here, and we're not owned by the freaking regular media people. But and I saw somebody in there says, yeah, my family has treated me bad, blah blah. Need to practice my kickboxing. Yeah, absolutely, Hardy check. So it just came out of idea, but won't get arrested. Born here's. Yep. Yeah, Clintons and Obamas. Yep. Everybody's got their day. Everybody's got their day coming, and it ain't coming off in the next 6 months. It ain't coming off in the next year. It's here. I mean, I'm telling you, it's here. It is here. Period. Won't see nothing on the mainstream media. Because you won't. Because you won't. Because they're controlled by somebody. But I'm going to tell you what. Mark my words. When the handler of that gets exposed and they go down, the news is going to have no option but to tell the truth. And when I say tell the truth, I'm talking about exposing these people. Because when you turn on your news here within the next, pretty soon, your news isn't going to be, well, in Iraq, this is going to, in Afghanistan, this and on, in Ukraine, this, and then Russia's doing this, and then China's doing it. You're not going to hear that. Because America is coming clean, whether they like it or not. Everybody's been saying, I'm ready for the storm. I'm ready for the storm. And I said this a long time ago on Brad Barton's show. We were talking. I said, you know what? People can't really handle the truth. And I had several people get mad and go, well, I can't believe you even say that. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. Sick and tired of hearing that. Well, when you turn on your mainstream news and you see your favorite reporter or you see your favorite congressman and you see video of them raping a kid, you're going to think twice about that. Oh, I can't stand it. They should be showing it on TV. They're going to sit there and show sexual acts and like where you can see everything. But you get my point. My point is they're going to be exposed. And my point is it ain't fixing to come. It's here. It's happening. It's just a matter of a little bit more time when some of these things continue being after they're investigated more, that they're going to be released out. And if you don't think that Elon Musk ain't paying attention, oh boy, is he paying attention. He's creating a new web browser that will by far be better than Google or Microsoft or any of those. And here's the thing. It's not filtered, which means this, you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get what Google feeds to you or what Microsoft Edge feeds to you or any of that stuff. It's on the point. It's literally, I've already seen it. It's on the point of being close to the black web. It's enough to give you the truth to make you go, oh crap, I cannot believe this. And the other thing is this, Elon Musk, he even posted, he says, it's amazing how all these people are deleting their Twitter accounts. It's amazing how they're doing that. Because he owns it. And he said, it's just a matter of time before their stuff finishes coming. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this today because when I tell you there's a lot of stuff. Simon Cowell, how about that? Simon Cowell. There's pictures of him with all kinds of little tiny kids, little girls, like majorly underage little girls. But Elon Musk has it all. And he said it. He goes, I have it all. They can delete it all they want. But we've been taking notes and making backups for years. Just because he took over Twitter, he didn't come in there and just erase all the things on their servers. He's smart enough. You know, just wait until all these celebrities that endorse Kamala Harris for president come out and their names are on this list of Diddy. Because it is thousands. Thousands. Come on, class. Say it. Thousands. Thousands. And for those, and here's the thing, for those of you, I was going to touch on it, have said, hey, my family members have just been like all over me and just criticized me and everything else. Here's the thing. There's two different types of people in this world. And there's some that don't question anything. Now, I'm not saying you wives go home and question your husband on why she's putting on these shoes that way, why, none of that stuff. I'm talking about in America. Because we've been born and bred to just take what we're fed through the media, and that's gold. And it's not. It's trash. But there's certain people that won't question anything, and then there's others that question, like me. I question. I look at detail. I look at my surroundings. All that stuff. But a smart person will change their view if actually new information comes in and it even contradicts their belief. But a smart person will go, hey, you know what? That's right. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to change the way I do things. That's why a lot of you, when you go to church, oh, I got saved and I changed the way I live. Why? Why? Because what you've done is and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just making a point here. Because what you've done is you've taken the information from the Bible and you said, you know what? This contradicts the way that I live. I need to change my life. I need to change the way I believe. Yes, I believe Jesus is God or whatever you want to say. And then there's other people I call smart people, and then the other ones I call indoctrinated people. Because an indoctrinated person is someone that is born bred. God, if it's not on CNN, it's not the truth. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. Oh, yes, it does, because we're Democrats. The indoctrinated person, and if you have family members and they've done this to you, then you know they are an indoctrinated person, and you cannot change that. Because an indoctrinated person lacks his or her ability that they are so conditioned to dismiss any facts that anyone would bring, including someone that's blood to them. And when you see that and you realize, hey, wait a minute, they don't want to change. Do you understand that? Some people just live their life going, hey, I'm complacent. I'm happy where I'm at. I don't want to change anything. I just want to be where I'm at. And that is it. That's just totally it. And some people live their life going, I got to know more. I got to seek more. That's why people go to church. I got to get God more. I got to get God more. Well, why? You already got him. We got to have more of him. Why do you got to have more of him? Because if you don't have more of him, what happens? You turn back into the basket case you once was. But indoctrinated people, I don't even see how indoctrinated people even go to church, because they lack the ability to change. They lack the ability to take facts and go, oh, okay, this is right. I better change. I have stinking thinking. I need to change that. But those of us that don't want to walk around going, bah, 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 following the crowd to the cliff to jump, we don't want to do that, because you know why? We're smart people. We're not indoctrinated, and indoctrinated people do that. And we as a country, I mean, not even a country, as just a United States citizen, we're going to have people that don't believe the same way we do, and that's fine. We don't have to convert everybody to believe what we believe. We don't have to convert everybody to our religion. We don't have to do that. The Bible says, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. How about this? Seek out your own political status with fear and trembling. How about seek out your own movies that you like to watch with fear and trembling? How about I'm going to turn on some music with fear and trembling? Because it's all been corrupted. And if you don't think for 2 seconds, God is not ticked off, he's ticked off. That's why what's done in behind closed doors is going to be shouted from the rooftops. It is a scary thing what's been going on in our nation. It's very scary. I spent enough time on Diddy. Sorry, it just gets on my nerves. And there's a ton of stuff. I've heard that Dolly was involved, and she didn't. Well, okay, you did it. I was going to try to stay away from it, but here we go. So Dolly is involved. She, along with everybody else that does, and if you don't know the whole signals, you have to look them up. It's actually the whole hand over the eye, or the the OK sign over the eye, or either the patch on the eye. It's part of the Illuminati. It's part of this whole crowd. She's a sellout. And I hate to say that. And she is. She's been to these parties. I didn't say she goes there all the time, but she's been there. I got pictures of it. The other thing is Dollywood in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Now I love Gatlinburg. I love Sevierville. I love Pigeon Forge. I love all that area. Love it. I hate the fact that all the Indians are there trying to sell you T-shirts all the time, and there is no other places to really go, and it's so expensive now. It's become just an Indian market. But Dollywood, the name Dollywood, DOLLYWOOD, but on the logo it's the butterfly, Dollywood, and the W is the butterfly. And the butterfly is a symbol. It's a symbol that's associated with the monarch programming. Okay. And the monarch programming goes back to sex trafficking. It's so deep, guys. It's so deep. And then when I look at the sign, I'm looking at it right now, and then it hits home with me because it says this: love every moment. That's the logo for it. Love every moment. But here we are going, man, I just love to go there and ride a ride, and hopefully one day I can see her in a parade. Not me. Not me. It brings a whole new meaning to the coat of many collars, doesn't it? The coat of many collars. It goes on and on and on. One of the things, where's it at here? Sorry, I'm off the cuff here today, so just hang tight. So, P. Diddy, when he came out, I said I was going to drop it, but I'm not. P. Diddy came out a good while back, comes up on his account, and he's got these black guys standing there. And I have to say black, because if I don't, everybody gets all mad. Black guy standing there, and there's a little white girl. And he's like, tell her I adopted her. She's now my family. I adopted her. And as she's talking, now the first time I even saw this video, it's been a long time ago, I thought, man, she looks petrified. She looks petrified. She looks petrified in this, and she looks scared, like she's just really scared. And this girl, man, this girl, I believe, from what I've been researching here, I believe, even, and before anyone says, oh, her dad said no, just hush and listen to me. I believe this little girl was sold to Diddy. And I believe she is actually, because this little girl's name's Ava Baroni Combs. That's her new name. Ava Baroni Combs. And when she's trying to tell her name, she goes, Ava Combs. And he says, no, it's Ava Baroni. Yeah, it's Baroni Combs. Because I believe she is Ava Grace Baldwin that was kidnapped years ago. I believe she was kidnapped and sold to somebody, and Diddy's got a hold of her. I do. I 100% believe that. Now, you're going to find things online that say, oh, her dad said it's not true. But also the thing is this, is her mom and dad. She was supposedly with her mom. They weren't even together. And by not being together, her mom had her. And then her mom says she's been kidnapped or whatever the case is. And she's just gone. Vanishes like a fart in the wind. She's just gone. No one hears anything from her. I have done a facial comparison this morning. And I'm telling you what, I'm looking at it right now. Her eyes, she has what they call flat eyes, which means the bottom part of her eye is just completely flat, straight across, and then she has the arch. The nose and the mouth, the chin, the structure of the forehead, the eyebrows, everything lines up 100%. Y'all hear me? I believe it possibly, and I'm going to look into it more, possibly her mom, or somehow something happened and this girl was taken off, sold off. And Diddy knows who she is. He knows it. But now the dad said, oh, then that can't be her. That's not her. That's not her, because she was with her mama. What the hell does that matter? That don't even matter. And when I'm telling you facial recognition, graphs, they don't lie, guys. You ever have to do an app on a phone and you have to stick your face up to it and it scans your face and then it does a graph to it because of biometrics? I believe 100% this is this child. And I'm forwarding my stuff over to a couple different departments. I believe we're going to start seeing some of these children reappear. Is what I'm trying to say. I think with these handlers that have been doing all this stuff, the ones that are still alive, let me say that, the ones that have not been killed or sacrificed. Oh, you're crazy. They don't sacrifice them. Oh, yeah, they did. Frazzle drip. It goes on Pizzagate. You got all this stuff goes on and on and on. You got harvesting going on. We just touched on it a couple of weeks ago with the guy that at the shipyard. They had the big shipping container that was stinking so bad. They opened it up and it was full of kids' body parts and kids in there. They were dead. Thousands. You're exactly right. They're wicked parents. And we live in a day where these wicked parents will sell their kid for anything. I mean, oh, that's impossible. It's impossible. No, what's impossible about that? You got people that go and prostitute just because they want some crack or fentanyl. They'll do the most horrible things just to get some drugs. So don't tell me that it's not possible that someone would sell their kid off for some freaking money or drugs or whatever. Very possible. And I do believe this is her. I do believe it's her. I told you all from the get-go, from day one on this show, when I retire, one of the things I want to do is find these kids, return them home, and make these people have some street justice that did these kids wrong. Yep, you're exactly right. Can't believe he would say that. You want me to lie to you and tell you I'm going to go there, shake their hand, and give them a church tract and try to lead them to the Lord? If they haven't been led to the Lord now, that's their problem. Society is about to come for these people's butts because they've raped our children, they've murdered our children, they've indoctrinated our children, they've imprisoned fathers for Oh my gosh, there's another one. There's a guy right now on death row. It's supposed to be executed this week. This week. And he's been wrongfully convicted. And let me see. I may have it here. I got so wound up on this other stuff here. But he's been wrongfully convicted and put in jail for years and facing a death penalty, which he'll be put to death see here, the 26th, put to death. Find it. I'm looking. Sorry, guys. Don't have all my stuff here. I can't find here. Kathy O'Brien, her dad said, right, absolutely. And yeah, you're going to see that. You're going to see more children. And here's the thing. You're going to see people come out and be like, hey, this is what happened to me. Because the reason why they haven't come out is because they can't even trust the daggone law enforcement. Because some of those people are bought out too. Yep, exactly right. Bought out. Is it really because he is living on the other side of us? Yeah, I can't really see much in the chat here. But anyways, he's about to be put to death and for something he didn't even do. And that's where we live these days, guys. But yet we have people that do this kind of crap. Diddy should have not have been arrested a week ago. He should have been arrested about 20 years ago. And let me just tell you this. For those of you that go, well, he is now, he got arrested now. He would have never, ever been arrested if for one thing. And that is this. Through executive orders that Donald Trump has signed into effect when he was president, like president of the United States, not the commander-in-chief, signed them in, putting teams together. You don't believe me, go research it. Putting teams together that do nothing but fight human trafficking and pedophilia. If you hate Trump, then you must be a pedophile sympathizer. Because that's who put this thing that's been going on against Diddy. Oh, but I saw Trump there. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And it would never have happened under anybody else's watch. Do you understand that? It wouldn't happen. It never happened under George Bush, either of them, or Clinton, or Obama. Well, I'm going to say that because I don't want to offend Alabama people. Obama, Hussein, or Joe Biden. It happened under Donald Trump. And those executive orders are still carrying through. That's why Diddy was caught, is because of these teams that are still investigating. Do you realize they have 20-some, almost 30 years of information on Diddy now? That's 30 years of people, 30 years of parties, 30 years of abuse. They have it all. I'm telling you, we are on the verge of a shit show you've never seen before. And you don't have a daggone choice but to either watch it or turn your TV off. Because as much as the news don't want to tell you, they're going to be forced to tell you and show you. But they're always going to throw their narrative. Well, it's not been proven yet. It's just happening. While the Diddy thing's going on, I told y'all there's all kinds of other things going on. So we've got Russia thing going on. We've got they got their satellites going up. Got all these. You got Israel going crazy over there. You got all these people going crazy. It's like, what's going on? And I told y'all, keep your eyes on Russia, but try to find out yourself. Look around, see what is going on that they're trying to keep our eyes focused off of. I fully expect this week we're going to see a bunch of crap show come out Just listen to me. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but there'll either be another false flag happen. Something will happen at least probably 2 to 3 times this week. Because here's why they've been keeping your eyes closed on Diddy and everything else. And here's the thing is, if they start getting on the news and, oh, here's the people coming out on the list, and here's this, and here's that, and here's this, then everybody's eyes are going to be glued to that. But their eyes and ears ain't going to be glued to the United Nations that went into session today in New York City, right? With the WHO in New York. It started, it was yesterday too, but it started today officially, and it goes through this week. But it's to end the U.S. sovereignty. Have you pooped your pants yet? Because this is happening on America. You tell me when the heck. And this is what I say. United Nations needs to take their ass out of this country. Their building needs to be demolished. They need out. They need to go to Russia or somewhere else. Go to some other country that wants to be pushed around. But we don't want it in America. We don't want it. But they're here to make decisions for you because they're pushing for this 2030 agenda or whatever it's called. The New World Order. The new world. Oh, I don't believe in that. Well, don't believe in it. You sheep. Bah. Don't believe in it. But they're here. Meeting in New York. So you got all these people from all over the world coming in. This morning, it was around 9 o'clock this morning, it was New York City's gridlock. Alert says Monday for the 2024 season as the United States General Assembly enters its high-level week. High-level week on Manhattan side. Security is also ramped up around the city with Joe Biden and more than 140 world leaders in town throughout the week. This is what they've been trying to keep you from. And so I went down and I pulled down the agendas because, detail, right? Got to pay attention. Heads of state government will gather at the UN headquarters in New York City, which they need to take their butt out of our country because we're Americans. We don't want them here. They can take their blue hats and stick them up their butt. We don't want them here. We don't want their military here. We don't want them here to try to, we just don't want that. Can the military throw them and not throw them out? They could if they were given orders. So anyways, goes on to the address to, they come there to address critical challenges and gaps in global governance. Also to expose the recent global shocks. The summit aims to reaffirm commitments to the suitable development goals. Okay? Because they're trying to keep everybody on track here, right? I think the United States needs to do another revolt. When I say revolt, I'm not talking about go to the streets and loot your 7-Eleven or your Dollar General or any other place. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about make it known you're not welcome here. We don't want your agendas here in America. I'm sick and tired of people making decisions for us that don't have our best interests at heart. And the United Nations does not have our best interests at heart. They want to disarm us, to put us under a one world government, one world policing, one world military. And they can take their one world ideology to some other country. We don't want it. We don't want their summits here. But anyways, it goes on because making sure that we are on the sustainable development goals. The United Nations charters while enhancing cooperation and laying down the foundation for this multilateral system. Okay. We have enough problems with Joe Biden, okay, and cackling Kamala and Tampon Tim. We have enough in our country with that, okay? We do not need some other, we don't even know their names. Tell me one of the people that's on the United Nations. Tell me who these people are. Tell me how many times they've donated to your church or donated to your local food shelter or donated to the, and that's another thing. While I've been here in town, I've met two single moms, and I've listened to their stories. Two single moms. One trying to get through school, can hardly get through school, don't have money for it, but is trying her best to get out of this thing. She's a single mom, got a 4 or 5-year-old kid, car breaking down, air conditioner don't work, and she's in freaking Louisiana, for God's sakes. Don't hardly have money for food. It goes on and on and on. And this is America here. This is what I was talking to y'all about several weeks, and I've said it over and over several times about our local churches. We raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to build orphanages, to send it over countries, we got to help these African kids. I mean, my God, they call the flies a state bird there. I mean, seriously. Yeah, I get it. There's poverty, but you know what? We have it in our own back door. How can we send our money and our resources always out to help other people that don't care, that just continue want more paycheck? Migrants are the ones that'll prove it to you. But meanwhile, you know, I'm a people person. I talk to people. Sometimes I don't because I want to be left alone, but sometimes I engage people because I have that ability to just go, hey, I see something's off here. Something's not right. And then ask them, hey, and talk to them. And then when you sit there and I listen to their story, it just boiled my blood that these people, two separate people, are struggling physically and mentally on a daily basis. No, they don't have mental illness, but they're struggling by having to take care of a child. Well, they got themselves in that old mess. That's their fault. You need to be slapped in the face if you say something like that. Car breaking down. Don't have an air conditioner, but driving around trying to make ends meet, working 2 jobs, trying to go to school, to pay for the school. The school's trying to screw you out of stuff here. Seriously, it's local. I mean, it's freaking local. Knowing that someone's a single, and the person is always I mean, seriously, it blows me away. But meanwhile, because trust me, I've drove around up in here. There's a ton of large churches. But meanwhile, we want to send our money out to some other country and leave our home people suffering. And I told these 2 different people, I said, I'm going to tell you what, at some point in the history of what I'm doing, and I told them both about our show. I said, maybe not now, but somewhere in the future, I promise you, we're going to reach back out to you and we're going to help you in some sort of way. I don't know how, but in the future, we're going to do this. I don't know if it's just at some point in history going and paying off her school bill. I don't know. I don't even care right now. It just burns me up that we got this going on in our back door, in our towns, in our own areas. A group of ladies are going to Guatemala next month. I think it's a bad idea. Church needs to stay. I know a church that's going to go to Israel in November. They're out of their freaking minds. It's worse than an infidel. And it's funny because those who preach about the Bible and all that stuff, they really don't research it because the Bible also says to take care of your widows and the orphans. Show me one church that's built an old folks home and don't charge the old folks. The widows, how about that? How about orphanages? I know of one that used to be in Tupelo, Mississippi years ago. It's called the Tupelo Children's Home or something like that. But in America, so it just blows me away. But meanwhile, we got the United Nations here trying to tell us how our country needs to be. Go home. And part of their agenda is to keep us on track. And they and get this. This is their words. I'm reading their thing. The general, in addition to the Secretary General of the United Nations, is convening the Summit of the Future. Is what they're calling this. Summit of the Future Action Days. To generate additional opportunities for the engagement of all actors. Decipher that one for me. Decipher that one. It says, while the overall state of the SDGs global remains grave concern, moment will demonstrate that dramatic progress is still possible, but we're not doing it right now. We got to buckle up, America. The United Nations tells us we got to buckle up and do better, because we're nowhere. We're getting off track from our 2030 agenda, which by 2030, that would be the United Nations. The United States would surrender all rights to them, and they would govern the United States along with all the other countries. We'd have one set of money here. You would no longer have the dollar bill. You wouldn't have silver. You'd have whatever they give you, plus also their military and their law. Talk about the Hunger Games. I hope America gets some balls about her and go and completely derails this thing. Because I have children and I have grandchildren, and I don't want them growing up in America where they're governed by blue helmets. And it'd be a cold day in hell for DC sits by and lets that happen. I'm going to fight as much as I can. I'm going to put the word out what they're doing. But meanwhile, we're worried about Diddy, because our focus is off of that, because they want us on this. But this high-level meeting that they're calling it, the high-level meeting is this. The agenda of this meeting and the overall achievement of this meeting is to disarm all global nuclear weapons. All, including the United States. Because if we take everyone's way to fight for their rights, if we take away all their ways to defend themselves, then nobody can fight. Can I tell you something? There will always be a nut job that will learn how to blow something up if they want to. And meanwhile, we've disarmed America. We've disarmed other countries, and we're just sitting people waiting to be hit. It goes on to say that the heads of state and government ministers will explore solutions to intertwine these global challenges to give us advanced peace and security and sustainable development. The total day of elimination is this. This annual high-level meeting is to promote total elimination of any kind of nuclear weapons. Well, y'all can kiss my butt. You can kiss my crack. I ain't for that. I ain't for that. I'm just not for that. Let me see here. I'm looking at something here. All right. Somebody was sending me something here. And it's amazing how the United Nations wants to come in and do that, but yet we have been programmed to move towards that for years. And I already told you about the filibuster that went for all those days. And that was the Democratic Party that did that years and years ago. But it was all because of Civil Rights Act. They didn't want it to pass because they wanted to keep the black man and woman suppressed, because they wanted them to always feel like they were not equal. And the Democratic Party still feels that way, unless you're homo. And then they're like, oh, we're all one. But, years ago, it used to be that churches controlled the women, control the moms. Because if they control the moms, they can control the children. And they control the moms, you know how they would do that? Well, if you don't rest this way and do this, you can't do this. Through control. Not, well, the Bible says it. No, through control. No, I'm taking a lot of people off with this, but it's okay because I don't care. And then you send your kids to school. Now that you got mom controlled, you send the kids to school. And then you control what they're taught. And you indoctrinate them in whatever history you want to be. And then you get the dads. You know what you do to dads? You find fault in them, and then you send them to prison. Can I tell you something? That's the blueprint of the Democratic Party, and that was not for the white man. They were purposely dividing color. And not only that, they purposely divided all families, white, black, yellow, whatever you want to call it. Everybody. They divided families because of control. Here we go. Here we go. I just found it. I'm going to play this. I was talking to you about this man that, listen closely.
I have ever used my platform to make, so please watch to the end because a man's life literally depends on it. So the first thing I want to point out is that this is from the Innocence Project's website, and this man right here is Marcellus Williams, and he is scheduled to be executed in about
Marcellus Williams.
2 days. Back in 1998, Marcellus Williams was accused of the murder of Felicia Gale, a white woman, and I will tell you why race is important in this in a moment. The murder happened inside Felicia's home, and the assailant left behind a treasure trove of evidence, things like fingerprints, footprints, hair samples, and DNA, and not one of those things, not a single trace of those, links back to Marcellus. In fact, in 2016, DNA evidence excluded Williams as the source of male DNA on the weapon. On top of that, the state is accused of destroying crucial evidence which could have exonerated Marcellus. Remember when I talked about race being important in this? Well, apparently the prosecutors at that time used to purposely stack the jury to try to get harsher convictions for black men. That's admitted. In Marcellus's case, there were 11 white jurors and 1 black juror. Hell, even the victim's family doesn't believe that he should be executed. Even a ton of legal experts, including the prosecutor for St. Louis, have done everything they can to try to stop this execution, but the court refuses to vacate it despite the lack of evidence. Marcellus's fate now rests with this man, Governor Michael L. Parson, who has to make the decision. Please call that number below or email them. Get them to at least stay the execution.
Okay. So my moderators that are listening, we'll give you a number. And those of you that want to get involved, you should. I have looked over this information, and I made a mistake. He's going to be executed tomorrow if something don't happen. The Missouri Governor's Office, 573-751-3222. Call him. Look it up. Governor Michael Parsons, Jefferson City, Missouri. Well, why are you doing that, DC? Well, because I believe the man, I believe there's a lot of evidence. Well, I know there's a lot of evidence that was purposely destroyed. And that's why innocent people go to the grave. I think it's time that America stands up. Well, have you called? Daggone right, I've called. Well, let me guess. It's about the white-black thing. No, it's not. It's about human rights. There's too much in this case, like the other stuff, to make someone go, oh, that's not right. Moving on from that, somebody just sent me something, said, you talked about Russell Brand earlier. What's it saying here? Talked about Russell Brand earlier. You're judging him. I didn't judge him at all. What goofy person would think that? what I said about Russell Brand, what did I say from the first part of this freaking program is that anyone can have forgiveness. Anyone. And wow, it don't matter. Let's see. The phone number is 573-751-3222. 222. And Marcellus Williams is his name. Marcellus Williams. Anyway, let me move on from this here. My time's getting away from me. And just so you know, it ain't gonna be, I still got to do the Gitmo show. I get it. Y'all understand. I do what I do, and I'm taking my time out today to do this. Tomorrow I will not be able to be on live because I had some other things that came up while I was down here that I have to take care of, and I have to do some things and help a couple people out with some things here. But when I get back, I'll be on Wednesday, but I'm not going to be on 1 o'clock Wednesday. I'll be on later on in the evening because my flight is not going to get back in time. And so anyways, it's just how it is. I can't do a show sitting at the airport. It's not possible. But when we get back, we're going to talk about some things. Also, I have a list that was given to me a long while back, and now it's been, when I say approved, not really approved, but it's been verified that it's okay for me to kind of talk about this. Y'all been wanting to know for a long time about people that have died, supposedly died, and still alive and stuff like that. I have a list of over 1,000 names of people that are in witness protection. But you can't release that. I'm not telling you where they live. I'm not telling you what they're doing. I'm telling you these people are about to make an entrance back on the scene. That's why it's coming out. Also, there was up in Ohio, there was a 23-year-old woman that was held captive actually in a shed. And of course, they get tipped or whatever, and they go out there, and sure enough, she's out there, but she had been held by this guy for several days. Both of her eyes are black. I've seen the video. It's really disgusting. We got this going on in America, but meanwhile, we're worried about other things. We got too much going on. You got too many people. You got, like I said, you got single moms out here that's just wanting to give up, wanting to give their children away for the fact of just that they can't afford they can't afford to live. But meanwhile, we want to take our money and go put it in dumb stuff like Starbucks or whatever. It's all nuts. Anyway, I've seen it several times, and somebody asked me, so I'm going to tell you this. Yes, Melania Trump, there's several different things where she's been in New York City and her luggage and everything. It doesn't say Trump. It doesn't say her name. It says FLOTUS on all of her stuff. So that just adds a little bit of validity to the fact of what we said about the executive orders. The other thing is I have an exact, and when it comes out, and I may do it, I may not. I actually have a picture here. And also a lot of information on the military ops and the Q team. I'm not talking about the stuff everybody's broadcasting on either. Another thing is you have Patton Oswalt that went on. This is the kind of stuff these pedophiles do. They go online and he posted this picture, and it's a picture of him smiling with his dumbass smile, and he's got some woman sitting next to him, and in the middle you got a little tiny girl that looks like she's scared crapless. And his post is this: we went on a hunt and caught this little tasty morsel. Booyah. These are some sick people. And we live in the time now to where they're openly putting it out there, just openly doing it, and just openly, brazenly just putting it out there. Oh, but you're a sheep. You just, no, I'm not indoctrinated. I'm a smart person that can actually look at things and go, hey, this is not right. Okay. The other thing is this, that's really hasn't had much tread on it yet, but it's going to. I told you about Sean Hannity. I felt like he was no good. I'm going to tell you one other person I think is a rat, needs to be done with, gone. When I say done with, I'm saying just out of their position. Okay. I'm looking at the affidavits. I have those in hand. The affidavits of the New York ABC. And of course, a lot of people go, well, I've already seen some of this stuff. Well, but you don't know what I'm about to tell you. But anyways, so this guy, he's worked for ABC for over 10 years. He's in the technical department, plus also administrative positions. He's observed all kinds of different transformations that he went through the years. And he also says, and for the record, I do not me, because you know Trump's my guy. This guy's saying, I do not support Donald Trump in this capacity for candidate presidency. But my observations were this, and he goes through this whole affidavit, okay? And he's telling them how the affidavits, in the communication part, what was done, they actually brought a podium in that was shorter than Trump's. They also had her to put her podium a certain direction and pose a certain way. That way it made her look more confident, which she still didn't look confident. And this is actually coming from, it was common knowledge, he says, that the debate moderators, as well as the chief executive officers were not supporters of Donald Trump. And we knew that this would be swinging to the left a little bit. But he says, the concerns are journalistic integrity, which there's your mainstream media, you ain't gonna find that anywhere. There's no integrity in it at all. But anyways, he goes on to say that, they want to influence through commercial interest, and they have substantial donors that affect the news presentation. What I tell you, it's controlled. When we find out who's controlling it and it's exposed, then that's when the news is going to be forced to tell the truth. And it's happening. You just don't see it, but it's happening. Observations he had during these debate fairs, he says, I have noted that specific instances related to the debate with Donald Trump and Kamala that raised concerns about procedural fairness. Okay. So he goes on to say that in the affidavit that he signed September the 9th, that, of course, it was certified, yada, 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 and all that stuff, that the questions were already pre-given to her to study for a week. And not only that, to have people come in and pretend like they were the debaters, and they even had someone come in and stand in as Donald Trump. And the thing is the Kamala Harris people, whatever you want to call them, they had their own stack of things that they couldn't talk about, that they couldn't bring up. They couldn't bring up her brother. They couldn't bring up that. They couldn't bring up any of her past, anything that she's done while she's been in the VP position. They could not bring that up to her if it had any kind of a negative light on it. And not only that, so we know the debate was screwed. Okay, we know that it was, but Donald Trump still come out, whooped her ass, and that's how it works. She's flopping around like a fish out there, or better yet, like a mattress dancer, because that's what she used to. But the thing is this is what bothers me. This affidavit was given to Speaker Johnson prior to Trump having the debate. He had a certified copy given to him, certified letter given to him. He received it, and he did nothing to tell Donald Trump that they were setting him up. So my beef is with Speaker Johnson. First, I kind of liked him. Then I didn't really like him because it's one of those people that you just never can read. And those people are dangerous. They're dangerous. And for him to have received this, and not warned the Trump campaign that they had been not only practicing, but they had all the questions, and they were setting him up to try to make him look like he was the dirty one in this. Mike Johnson. Yep, he is a mole. He needs a mole. They need to remove that mole. You know how they do? You know how you remove a good mole? Take a big piece of duct tape and stick it over it. Let it sit there for a good while. Pat it down. Get it good in there, and then just yank that thing off there. Oh my God! I've seen someone do that one time. It's hilarious. But Mike Johnson, he understood that. He understood what was going on, and he did nothing to to change it. And he should have spoke up. So hopefully when Trump goes back in, some things change and that bats out. And for those of you, yeah, I've never trusted him either, guys. I'm looking at some of your stuff here. Lindsey Graham, he's just, sheesh. See here, I'm trying to look at the chat here real quick here. Yep. Mo Johnson, absolutely. That's where he needs to go. And here's the thing: is for those of you that go, man, my family has disowned me, because I've had several people reach out to me. Man, this political thing is crazy. I've had family that just reach out to me, yeah, no, and just be like, get rid of you. You're crazy. But if your family has disowned you because you're not indoctrinated like they are, because you're not a sheep that just goes on with everybody else, then you know what? Welcome to my family. And I want to officially say welcome to the tribe. Because in the end, history will be written. And I firmly believe this. History will be written. And one day, the world will look at those, oh, well, they were just conspiracy theorists. No. The world will look and see how close to the edge we really were in a lot of situations, and how us, patriots, MAGA, whatever you want to call yourself, stood up and had brains about them to go, hey, let me check and see what's going on in the country. Let me just check this out. Let me research it for myself. And that's what this show is about, guys. It's about presenting information to you. It's about you researching it, finding it out, and going, oh my gosh, you don't have to be brainwashed in anything here. But if you start researching things and you start realizing what's happening, then you go, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then when everything else falls apart around the country and your friends that didn't believe you, I can't believe this. You're not, why ain't you upset? Because I've already known. I've already been exposed to this. I already know. And I believe history is going down right now. There's two different kinds of history. One, cabal, deep state, pedophilia, movies, all this stuff that's been in the dark is being brought to the light. And not only is it being brought to the light, it's going to be dealt with and cleansed. 2 years from now, we're going to look back and go, we're in a far better place than we were 2 years ago. Because no longer are we really, really having to look over our shoulders when you go to a restaurant. Is that little kid is that one been, sold? You see that? But also history is going to be written that we were the ones that were warning people that, hey, we're really on the edge here. We're really on the edge. And one day the world will understand why we have sacrificed so much of our time trying to wake people up. I would much rather be someone that's trying to shout from the rooftops. Get out of it. Get out of the building. It's burning. Get out of the building. It's burning. Than to be standing there going, well, I brought my fire extinguisher. I'm just wait till the thing catches on fire. Even though I can't put it out. I want to be trying to put somebody out. I want to see somebody die. You realize how twisted that is? No. But one day the world will understand why you, this listener, you, the listener, DC, me, you all, the DC guardians, everybody all together have sacrificed so much time researching and screaming from the rooftops. And one day everything will be so clear to us and to this world that the people will actually have to look back and see the war that we fought was not with guns, was not with none of that, but was with absolute truth and revelation. And one day, I'm not doing this for kicks and giggles. I'm doing this for a future, not even for myself, but for my grandchildren and children. And I pray to God they don't have children. It's a crazy world. But one day it will be clear. And one day our story, not my story, one day I'll be dead and gone and no one will even remember what we've done here. Who's DC? I don't know. But one day, the story of what we've done of making America great. Do you understand why it makes people so mad when you say make America great? Well, it makes us so mad. That's just a Trump thing. No, it's not. because we have made a stance and we are making a declaration, speaking it out into the spirit realm. We're going to make America great again because we've fallen away from the cross. We've fallen away from just good morals. We've fallen away. Oh, but that's my favorite artist, even though they shake the tits everywhere and they're all over the place and they're doing it. They're my favorite. You're a hypocrite. But one day, history will be clear and it will be written in books. It will happen. And this, what we're doing now, that everyone said, oh, it's just crazy, that's crazy, will be known as the second greatest story ever told. Because we fight. We fight with truth. Even when they try to shut streams down on us and we can't get on that line or something, we still find a way to make it work and get back on because why? We don't give up. We weren't built to break, right? We're gonna win this thing. Some people may fall along the side of the road and I can't do it. Just can't do it. Then don't do it. But I won't give up because one day the world won't view us as conspiracy theorists, but they'll look at us as heroes because we expose the truth. And you know what? I may never ever get to the point where I see complete vindication of everything that I've seen in my life. But I know this. When I die, this fight that we're doing right now will be 100% worth it all. It'll be worth it all. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you even fighting these people? Why are you trying to find out stuff and expose it? Well, because your mainstream media won't. And isn't it funny, even in the church world, but isn't it funny how when you bring things and go, hey, this is not really right. Oh, they're a troublemaker. They're just a troublemaker. Get them out of here. Let me tell you something. If you've ever stood up for what's right and you still got slashed down, one day it will be worth it all. It will. You know how I know? Because faith without works is dead. And you've had faith that we can build America stronger and greater, and you've put works to it, and we're doing it. We're doing it. Whether they like it or not, we're doing it. We're going to do it. They may try to take us out, take us down. It ain't going to work because we weren't built that way. Once again, tomorrow, if I post a video also on Rumble or YouTube and I say, I'll be going live the next day at a certain time, that does not mean that you just email me saying something's broke because I can't see your live. You got to read what they say. Read what they say. Tomorrow I won't be back on because I don't know, maybe about I won't be able to. I just no way I can do it. No way possible. Wednesday I will be back on, but I'll probably be back on later that evening because I'll get back in town and I still got to type things. We rarely do this, but the only reason why I'm able to come to you from where I'm at now live is because of the donations that people's given for equipment for this. And if you get a chance, go to eiobn.com. That is our website. You can listen to the radio live there. Also, Rumble and YouTube and locals. Wow, today we did really good. I think in Rumble we're, got a good little crowd here. It's a good deal. Every other commercial on TV is Big Pharma. Absolutely. And when we find out that too, and it's going to come out too, when you find out what all we've had and to cure diseases and pharma, Big Pharma has controlled that. Don't you think for 5 seconds that's not going to come out? Because you have Big Pharma executives and all that stuff is even at Diddy's place. The list is huge. The list is huge. Don't be shocked. EIOBN.com. Check it out. All of our social media stuff on there. I may end up trying to fire up another Facebook. Not for sure because I really like having a way to communicate with everyone. We'll figure that out when I get back to town. Keep your head up. If you want to, click donate. We really appreciate everything you do because it helps us support what we're doing. And like I said, it's without any kind of support, we ain't able to bring you this live from Baton Rouge. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope everyone has a great day. Stay encouraged. We are going to win this thing, and the truth does prevail.
Tomorrow, hold on tight, shine a light, make it right, fight for tomorrow. With all your light, keep the faith in the night. Hearts that bleed for a cause so true. Sacrifice made for the red, white, and blue. Fight for tomorrow. Hold on tight, shine a light, make it right, fight for tomorrow. With all your light, keep the faith in the night, in the night. Hearts that bleed for a cause so true. Sacrifice made for the red, white, and blue.